Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Batman Arkham Asylum on hard difficulty, and this is my no upgrade run plus for the aforementioned title. We're on part 4, and we're listening to Deflator Mouse, which is on the opera program tonight, and my slow brain just put together the coincidence. So, yeah, last opera of the year, so enjoy the content, and if you're here for the gameplay and for assistance, it's right here for you. All you have to do is watch and scroll to wherever you need to. We're on part, did I mention we're on part 4? So, shooting for about 10 parts, I'm not sure. I did some reconstructing of the next video so that it starts in the botanical gardens. Switching my G's and B's tonight like an idiot. We'll start in the botanical gardens. I'm not sure how far Poison Ivy, that boss fight, is, but I just finished the 2 Titan boss fight, so that's definitely in that video if you need help with that. An easy encounter. I'm not sure how. I remember Poison Ivy giving me a run for my money. Pardon the cliche. Pardon the colloquialism for international viewers. Sorry about that. It just basically means it gave me a tough time. So, even though it gave me a tough time last time, it's still not known whether it will give me a tough time this time, because times change unless you go off of what Michael Landon said in the pilot episode of Highway to Heaven, where he said, times don't change, it's people that change. So you can believe what you want to, whether times change or people change. I personally happen to just believe whatever Michael Landon says because he's a badass. Died too young. So we're in the penitentiary. There's no boss fight for this chapter. Now, if you're wondering why I play opera in the background sometimes, it's just because I don't want to miss my program, like I've said a couple of times. I know it's breaking the rules on YouTube, but I personally don't, even though I know it's a felony, one of the most offensive things you can do. You know, they're going to put the most wanted sign out for me. I don't think it's that bad, so I just do it because I don't really see the harm in it. So we're gonna have some psychotics to fight when we do this. And there's one part up here where I thought I might have to upgrade to actually do the task. Oh, here she is. But there's a sequence up ahead where we've got a couple of enemies hanging from ropes, and I thought that maybe you had to upgrade to slice the rope off their necks 2 at a time, you know, but it doesn't happen to be that way. It's not the case. So, even if I do have to upgrade for some reason, I'm not going to change what this is called. Because sometimes on no upgrade runs, the person is forced to break the rules, otherwise he can't play. Now on these cryptographic sequencers, what I'm using is a 360 controller for the PC version, and I have no rumble motors in the controller because I took them out like a year and a half ago, or whenever it was. I was doing Ninja Gaiden 2 because I value the decreased weight when you remove the rumble motors. I would also like to take them out of my PS4 controller, but I'm too worried about damaging it. So on those sequences, I don't get any feedback when I'm doing it. So wait a second. We're leaving the prison. Where's the encounter with? Okay, it must have already transpired. Okay, so the only problem about this fight here is that, like, you can't extend your combo when, like, you see the rail in the middle. By the way, Harley doesn't hit you. It would be kind of annoying if she did, actually, if you can get hit when she's swinging by, just collateral damage, but fortunately it doesn't. It's like it's just background or something. But if you're on one side of that rail, you can't, obviously you can't go through it, and he doesn't jump over it. So this is the next wave. We've got some enemies here going for guns, as you can see. But whenever there's a gun enemy, and this is true of all of the Arkham games, but I don't think it really kicks in until City, where, like, when it's all enemies and you're doing stealth, it's the most dangerous the gun enemies are. But whenever there's an enemy with a gun in a group, they tame down how much damage it does to you. When I first played this game, I thought to myself, why do the enemies get guns? Why do I get killed so quickly? Why can't I use a gun? But this isn't a shooter, obviously, and Batman doesn't use guns. So, like on these, I guess I'm just doing it by luck. Because, like I mentioned, I don't get the physical feedback of the motors vibrating to know that I'm doing it right. So what I have to do sometimes, like right here, let me see. If you ever see a really quick edit where it's not possible that I could have done it that quickly, it's because it took me too long. Because without any feedback, I don't even know what I'm doing, really, so I'm going in blind. So sometimes it takes 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, here's the psychotics. Sometimes it takes me like, a full minute. Sometimes I fail and I have to start over, because if you go too long, they will electrify you or electrocute you. So these psychotics here, or lunatics, I'm just going to call them psychotics, they will jump on you, and they can be problematic for, I would imagine, for a no upgrade run. I mean a no damage run, because they jump on you. Here's that part. But you could actually use the bat claw to put them down and then do the ground takedown on them. So that one is the first one you have to dispatch, or not disarm. Here's the next one. I think you have to do it 4 times, however many lights are on the device. That's how many times you have to do it. This was that part that I mentioned. I didn't know if you had to throw the batarang at these guys twice, but it's not the case. And I may have said something wrong earlier about you can't do those gargoyle takedowns when you're on the gargoyles, and you can't do upside down takedowns. You can, it's just that you have to upgrade. So since I haven't been upgrading, and I won't, I haven't had the ability to do that. But it does exist in this game. So you get a checkpoint here, and you have 30 seconds to disarm this door. And then as we run out of the facility, we'll have some psychotics. So you could sometimes get clawed at by them against your own wishes, because when you're doing the strike, sometimes it won't connect, in which case they can jump on you and it could take off major damage from you. But what I discovered, and what I'll be doing later in the video, is that I will be using the back claw to pull some of them down off perches, and also what was I gonna say? Just to put them down. So, oh, there's one right there. So there's a lot of these contraptions here, and it's just teaching you how to do it. Excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. I had to go turn on the dryer. This is familiar from one of the challenges. If you've done the challenges, you don't get any checkpoint, and I think it's 4 waves of enemies. So when the floor pulses beneath you, you need to very quickly go to another location. Sometimes you could trap the enemies if you get to the other, get to one of the other 2 higher platforms. And if they can't make it, sometimes as they're jumping over, if you're on a higher platform, you could punch them and they'll fall backwards and land on this area here. It only takes away minimal damage from you. One of the issues I was running into early on was getting the contextual prompt to appear when it says climb, because what I was doing was I was jumping at the rail instead of just going up to it, waiting for the A button prompt, and then having, the computer does it for you. So in this scenario here, we've got a couple of what are those? Those sticks with electricity in them. God, I always grope for the wrong word. Like, so here's a little issue right there. Tasers. They're the tasers. Sorry about that. But this isn't too bad. There's only, like I said, one, maybe 2 waves of the enemies. So, okay, so you saw that. Did you see that right there? One of the guys dropped his tasers and then he picked it up again. I think this game works so that only the wielder, the original wielder of a weapon, can pick it up again. I don't think just anyone can pick it up. So if you take, that would be kind of a concern if you had dispatched the original wielder and then somebody else picked it up after his death. That would kind of be unfair, but I think it would be a good challenge to let anybody pick it up. But it would be something that you would be worried about. And these doors, they take quite a long time to open, so sometimes I edit the footage out. Another psychotic. You have to do the ground takedown on them because they'll keep coming back. Okay, another one's dropping down. Couple of jump scares, huh? So now we've done everything we need to do in the penitentiary, and we're tracking Harley. So I think I'm going to speed this up. We have all these unarmed psychotics in this area. One of them is on a higher, there he is. He's up there. It's kind of fun to pull them down. They'll aggro when you go close to them. And then the final one, he's in this section here, which I'll slow down. I think, oh no, I got him. So hook your way up here. And we're heading for the, I believe we're heading for the botanical gardens. So there is a nice use of the center camera feature, which every game should have. Annoyingly, there's no sensitivity settings on this game, which is sad. Oh, here's all the psychotics. There's some more here to pull down. Completely optional. I mean, if they are chasing you, you cannot outrun them. So I'm just killing them. Completely optional. And we're going to make our way over to the Botanical Gardens. And that will be the beginning of installment 5. So this is the 4th installment concluded. Thanks for watching.